Live, go live. Okay, so it should be working just fine by now. Yeah. Let me quickly check the sound. Okay, so it should be working. Yeah, it's working. It's working perfectly fine. So my name is Hightech, of course, and on these live streams I talk about what just happened today in the cryptocurrency market. What do I think about it regarding 11 years of my experience? And in the meantime, I explain what Hightech meme coin is and why you might be interested in it. And yeah, Jesus is King. Let's go. Let's start. So today's title is Further Down. Are we going further down? The crypto market is not doing very well today, although, I mean, the Bitcoin market specifically, because some of altcoins are not that bad as this year. This year has grown 116% throughout last 24 hours. Dash plus 51, ICP plus 36, what makes me happy because I'm in a trade on it. Here is exactly the trade. Entry was here, as you see. So this is really, really cool. Plus 57% as we speak. And to be honest, when I look at it on greater time frame, it looks like yeah, it's about to go higher. Why? Because practically every single time it attacked this level from below, it was going significantly higher. So here that was the case. Here that was the case. So it happened already twice on two occasions here. This one's going to be the third one. So yeah, so the statistics so far it has been really, really good. I mean, few attempts, but so you cannot really make much out of it. Nonetheless, what's up, Norom bro? You must write me how to pronounce your nickname here because it's difficult. I don't know how to refer to you here. So if you can write it, oh my goodness. If you can suggest something, I'll be very happy. So yeah, I think big things are coming to ICP market. Oh my god, it's tickling me in my nostrils. Theoretically speaking, this thread should roll out into like two doubles because I mean two doubles I will get at plus 300%, so that would be up until here. So I think it's, I mean, look at how small this is against how much this coin used to be worth. People were paying over $2,800 for it, and now it's just $5. That's amazing. But it is what it is. This is crypto, right? This is crypto. If you find yourself on the wrong side of the market, then it's going to be a little bit painful. Guys, share, like, and subscribe if any one of you hasn't done it yet, and like and subscribe, of course, and share if you can do that. That's also usually very nice. And yeah, I just remembered I forgot about one thing, but okay, it's too late already. So yeah, not everything is going down. Bitcoin is going down. Bitcoin dominance is going down. And the question is, what's next? What should we expect? What can we expect? Or what should we expect? So I was speculating yesterday. I was speculating that today's daily on Bitcoin dominance will nullify this one. That it is a possibility. I'm not saying it's a given. I'm not saying it's anyhow guaranteed, but it is indeed a possibility. And considering how the altcoin market is reacting, yeah, there is a little bit of merit to it. I mean, as you see, for now, it's far from it, but we still have quite a sizable chunk of the day left. Like literally another 12 hours for this date to finalize, for this daily candle to fully close. So I think it's in the cards. It's in the cards. We are still far from it, but it's in the cards. And Bitcoin, as you see, it keeps falling. It keeps falling, and people are super scared. What the hell is going on? Is this the end of the bull market? And I remind you, Bitcoin does exactly what it has been doing, right? So it's just having a descending channel here, just like it had it here. Here it had a descending channel. Okay, this one does not look like a descending channel. Something like this. Here it had a descending channel. Those descending channels are badly painted, badly drawn. So sorry for that. But yeah, it doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. It has been doing throughout last, I don't know, soon it's going to be 3 years since here. How long? Yeah, soon it's going to be 3 years, right? So yeah, I don't get it yet. I don't get the panic yet. I think people just stare at Bitcoin chart at way too small time frame, way too small candle size, and that's why they get an impression like something significant is going on here. Not really, at least not yet. And most of the retailers they trade nowadays, they trade on leverage, so that's why they are stuck with very small time frames, and that is why if you multiply it times 20 or 50, it's going to be a huge move that is just about to wipe you out. That's why I keep recommending you guys do not trade on futures. Just stay away from it. Stay on spot. If you're not making on spot, forget about making money on futures. It's just impossible, mathematically impossible, because you risk as much more as great the multiplier on your leverage is. So if you use 10x, it means you risk 10 times more losing your money. If you use 20x, you risk 20 times more losing your money, right? So if you don't really know what the hell you are doing, and you're a novice, and you don't have a very good and deep understanding of trading and how markets work, I don't know what you are doing trading leverage. I mean, it's some sort of I don't know, misunderstanding. So yeah, that's why I keep telling you that. $406 million, almost $407 million liquidated on Bitcoin, 325 liquidated on Ethereum. So yeah, that's those numbers are really good, really good. And what about the sentiment? 27. It's at 27. Fear and Greed Index and Altcoin Season Index at 26. No surprise there. And yeah, so should we expect escalation of a drop? That's a possibility. I mean, look what happened here, for example, right? Because here we had a descending channel. If you count it, I mean, depending on what let's say candle we look at it, in what time frame, and you can, let's say, take into account, let's say, candle bodies or wicks too. But as you see, we had on a couple of occasions we had this deviation out of it, right? We fell through the floor and then we came back up and then we continued. So that literally the same can repeat here. We can fall out through the floor, then come back up and continue. So when I look at, for example, SPYX, which keeps diving, And yesterday was today. Yeah. And yesterday, as you probably remember, SPYX showed us how the TradFi is going to open, right? So I'm observing SPYX, and before pre-market price appeared on SPY, I already knew it's going to be showing a very low pre-market price, right? And this is indeed what's going on. Pre-market price that is displayed here is very low, so that means S&P 500 is going to open low, and that applies selling pressure onto Bitcoin. I mean, that has been the rule for quite a while already, so probably it will continue to be the rule. I mean, we can get a decorrelation as well, but recent days, recent times, whenever we get decorrelation, that does not apply to when S&P 500 is falling, right? Then we stay correlated. When we can, according to those new rules, we can get our decorrelation when S&P is growing. Then we get the decorrelation because Bitcoin will do nothing, S&P will be growing, or Bitcoin will be even falling. That's the kind of decorrelation we are allowed to. Other than that, we stay correlated. So yeah, I think it's reasonable to expect that Bitcoin will drop even further from here. Are we going to pierce 100K? I wouldn't bet on it, but we are very close already. So that will not be any kind of surprise to myself anymore. And does that mean altcoins will suffer too? As you see, some of them are thriving. Why? Because they've been so oversold. They've been oversold for so long, and on top of that, October 10th happened, and there must be some source of selling pressure in order for the price to keep diving. And I don't really, in many cases, in cases of many coins, I don't really see where that source is anymore, right? Where could it be? So probably we are literally at that stage, at that phase of the altcoin market. It's so oversold that there is nobody left who is willing to sell those coins anymore. I mean, here I'm talking about those that are pumping. And probably shortly after, the rest is going to join this small circle, small as of yet. It's going to amplify, it's going to grow. And slowly but firmly, we will enter into the altcoin season because of that, because of simple market mechanics. It has literally zero to do with anyone being bearish or anyone being bullish here. It will just happen just because of simple market mechanics, right? Of simple technicals, which is, nothing to, let's say, complain about. I think it's actually phenomenal because it will be the most organic type of a bull market we could hope for, and those are really, really powerful. So yeah, probably it's going to be finally it's going to be sustainable. This move upward that is right around the corner is going to be long lasting, not like it has been for the last 2 years. Like, yeah, we've got a couple of bumps, but they were very, very short lived. So that's not going to be the case this time around. Last at least for a few months. So that's the good news. I mean, it will include negative volatility, of course, because that's the nature of a roaring bull market. There are always corrections on the way up, and that is not going to be removed from the picture. That's impossible. So yeah, you'll get several occasions to think it's already over, and you will exit the whole of your position, and then to your surprise you will see the market recovering and going much, much, much further. But that's normal. Most of market participants they don't really know how to strategize it. what to do, when to exit, when to buy, when to exit, when to come back to the market, and so on. That's perfectly fine. To me, of course, what matters is I know, I know, so I'll be juicing it to its fullest. So I can't wait. Just like with this trade on ICP, ICP finally pays back its debt that it owes me, and yeah, from here it has plenty of room to grow. But not only ICP, most of the altcoin market can literally, let's say, hope for, I don't know, 500%, 600% moves from here. So quite hefty. Let's take a look at Trump coin is doing, because I have a position in Trump coin too. This one is not. Yeah, this one is a little bit more stagnant, plus around 20% in profit now. It will probably continue to move upwards because Trump coin is also beaten up, really, really beaten up. It has weak fundamentals though. Unlike ICP, ICP has great fundamentals because that's like literally tokenized cloud computing. But it has a name. It has a name, so that can make up for it, let's say. So yeah, guys, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and of course, don't forget about the sponsor of the channel, Hightech Meme Coin. You'll find a tutorial how to get yourself a little bit of it in the description section of this live stream. And I treat it as a stock market of my social media. That's how I respect it. Meaning that if anybody wants to gain exposure through my social media, then they will have to, pump this coin, or buy it up. So that's the hard use case for it. I give it a hard use case. So this is a completely new, let's say, proposition in the crypto market. That's why it's innovative. It at least should appear somewhat interesting to you. That's a completely new way of monetizing your, let's say, creator's work in the internet, right? You create your own meme coin that you treat as your own stock market, and that allows you to monetize your activity early on before any platform even allows you to monetize it. So that will become very popular. This what I'm doing here with this meme coin will be copied all over the world. And mark my words. I mark my words because I know what I'm doing here. I know it too well. Okay, allow me to clean it up a little bit. So yeah, so far it looks very bearish. It looks absolutely terrible. It makes out 0K for well over 6 months, and the sentiment is ultra bearish. This is not how bear markets start. Bear markets start in absolute euphoria, right? Markets, they do not peak on sentiment that we are having right now. That does not happen. That is telling me for 100% this is not a beginning, not the beginning of a bear market. Absolutely not. That's impossible. And even fundamentally speaking, that's impossible because treasury companies that collect Bitcoin, that trend, the Bitcoin reserve narrative, is still far from over. I mean, some people say there is too many, let's say, Bitcoin reserve companies already, but I really don't think we are at any vicinity of, let's say, high saturation point of that narrative. 99% sure that's not the case. Although today I've watched an interview of Altcoin Daily with Grant Cardone, if I correct, yeah, I think so. Let me check. Altcoin Daily. By the way, very good interview. I highly recommend you. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Grant Cardone. Yeah, I was remembering well. I highly recommend you to watch this interview. Very entertaining, very cool. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Altcoin Daily, I don't know. Like I'm not vibing with those guys because they're twins. That does not mean you like I let's say I tell you should not watch them. Absolutely not. If you're vibing with them, that's cool. It's just in my case, it just doesn't really work unless they, like in this case, have an interview with someone very very interesting. With a character like Grant Cardone, for example, and he says that he is a little bit afraid of how Bitcoin reserve narrative um, how is it adopted, the scale of its adoption. It's it scares him a little bit, but it's because he has awareness of what it leads to. Of course, it leads to a huge correction in the Bitcoin market, and he accumulates Bitcoin aggressively. So that's a natural thing for someone like him to be a little bit concerned because the Bitcoin reserve and sovereign Bitcoin reserve narratives, they will end up in a bubble burst, a powerful bubble burst. There is no way around it. There is no way that will not happen. It's just mathematically impossible that will not happen. And he still accumulates Bitcoin. He's interested in owning Bitcoin. So yeah. So that's no wonder, right? Absolutely, it does not surprise me in the tiniest. So even though it's he is giving a little bit of signals that maybe we are slowly getting there into that high saturation point of the treasury companies, those that make Bitcoin treasuries. I definitely do not believe we are anyhow close to an end to a high saturation point of that narrative. I don't I don't think so. I don't really think so. I don't know that many treasury companies, to be honest. There is a bunch of them worldwide, maybe like 30. I mean, for the whole world, like 30, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. I want to wait until there is like 3,000. If I see there's 3,000, big companies with, let's say, evaluation of, I don't know, at least over $100 million, then yeah, then I may start to think like we are heading towards the end of the party, right? But we are nowhere close. We are literally nowhere close. We are definitely under 100, definitely under 100, and maybe even under 30. So that's nothing. That's literally nothing. That's why I cannot believe in a bear market happening right now. I cannot believe it. I mean, on Bitcoin, of course, because when it comes to altcoins, what are we even talking about? Altcoins have not seen their respective bull market yet. like altcoins have not got a bull market since 2021. So we cannot talk about starting a bear market in the altcoin market because I mean we are in a bear market for 4 years already. So we cannot start a bear market if we are literally in a one of the longest bear markets already. So yeah, it just does not add up from any let's say angle you look at it. It just does not add up. So yeah, and Bitcoin dominance is quite high as well. It stays definitely way too high. it still did not see any greater reduction that happens every single cycle. So that's one of the, let's say, most easy signals to spot that we are still not in that phase of the market that the average Joe is waiting for. Whenever it comes around, it always takes average Joe by surprise, and that's the way it should happen. Because I keep explaining it to you guys. Bull hates to be ridden. Bull, whenever realizes someone is mounting it, it starts to jump, kick, move a lot, tries to shake out the rider, right? So whenever it starts to run, it does it with no one sitting on it, right? No one riding it. And then later on in the let's say last 10% of the move, when the bull is really really tired, then riders are allowed to mount it, and that's it. But then a everything comes to a quick end, and things gets over the hill, and we start a bear market, right? So that's not now. That's definitely not now. So yeah, I think what's going on here, what's happening here on SPYX, it gives us a very solid glimpse into what's about to happen. So we can see more negative volatility on Bitcoin later today. Probably we will, like 90-95%. I'm not 90-95% sure we will. Altcoins probably will keep keep to resist, and some of them may even pump harder while Bitcoin is decreasing, because they are literally so oversold. So yeah, I think if you stick to those that are green right now, we should be very very fine throughout the rest of November, remaining part of November, which is almost the whole of November, because it's just 4th of November today. So yeah, guys, share, like, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Don't forget about that part of the show. And yeah, that's pretty much it for what I've got to say. I will be live streaming later today as well. As you probably already know, I live stream at least twice a day, sometimes even thrice a day. And yeah, I don't think it makes sense to review my X timeline just yet, because it's just too early. Probably will not see anything interesting. So I'll do that part in my next live stream sometime later today. But it's very interesting, especially from the altcoin market perspective. I really like I mean, the kind of development I see there. I really like it. Maybe allow me to quickly take a look at it. And there's one more very interesting situation that I will discuss probably in the next live stream. So here, yeah, here we actually can see also a little bit of more reduction, but we are already well into this thick support zone. So we will have a very good lift here. Whatever happens here, we'll have a very good lift. And whenever selling pressure stops, the bounce will be brief and powerful. So yeah, don't get shaken out now. This is not the time to sell, especially altcoins. Eventually, if I'm really really wrong about Bitcoin will start his bear market, and capital rotation will start a bull market in the altcoin market. But like I said, it's very highly improbable, because I think that would be the first Bitcoin or bear market in general. where the majority of market participants realized where is the top. So that's like against the general rule of how the global finance and speculation and trading works, right? Which is a zero sum game. So the money you win comes from vast majority that lose, right? That's literally against that rule. So that's why it's practically impossible. But I'm saying it for the sake of saying it, and that's it. Okay, so allow me to wrap it up right here, and so like and subscribe, and I will come back on the air sometime later today. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my X. And see you soon.